グリザイアの果実続くからセーブするの
Continue a little more. Since we want to romance Sachi, so we need to reject the money. Like I say, we don't want
セーブするわ
romance money yet. Yes, if we suddenly romance, then shit will happen. So we don't want that to happen. So we're gonna play safe and choose for this. Now is yes, it's about time. Let's see what happens after this solve. Yes, it's about time.
セーブするわ
So we're back here. So we have to do all of this from Sachi's perspective. So we're gonna play safe for now. So yes, we should continue with praise Sachi. Okay, we were gonna praise Sachi. Why? Because we are going to do her roof. Yes. Let's see what will happen after this. The music suddenly changed. Every time we want to romance Sachi, the music changed. Alright, fine. I don't have any problem with praising you if that's what you want.
本当ですか
Yes. Defeating me in a match is worthy of recognition, and it's only natural to praise someone when they deserve it. I think someone might have told me the exact same thing a long time ago. What's wrong? Did I say something strange?
いえ何でもありませんありがとうございます
You're welcome. Sachi responded to my question with unusual haste, then paused deeply for a moment as if to collect herself. So as for the details, what kind of praising are you looking for specifically?
それは風見さんにお任せします 100% 風見スタイルで大丈夫です
That's quite a vague request. Let's say it would be fair to break my promise after the fact, even in something as inconsequentially as this. I draw closer to Sachi and reach out my hand toward her head.
明かりを消してもらってもいいでしょうか
Nani? What?
改まられると緊張してしまうのでできれば部屋を暗くしていただきたいのですが
Normally, Sachi can strip all her clothes in public without a hint of embarrassment, but at the moment, a rare pink blush has spread across her face. Just for future reference, that sort of line should only be used when you are getting in bed with someone. I gently shoot down Sachi's fever entreaty and placed my hand on the top of her head. You beat me fair and square. Pretty amazing, Sachi. Ah, kawaii. Oops. Very kawaii, Sachi-chan. This has to be the first time I have touched Sachi's head. And yet the feeling of her hair under my hair is oddly pleasant. There's even something vaguely nostalgic about the sensation. Very nicely done. Sachi went stiff as a board at first, but soon closed her eyes in apparent pleasure. As her body relaxes underneath my hand, I began to slowly pat her head. Right, left, right. Every time my hand moves, little bits of gibberish dribbles from Sachi's mouth. It's kind of amusing to watch.
脳みそが揺さぶられています。
I'm really not doing it that forcefully. Sachi sways back and forth helplessly inside with the gentle movements of my hand. This is another first for us, but for some reason the motion comes naturally for me.
ありがとうございます。もう大丈夫です。
Right. Stepping out of the way at the sound of Sachi's voice, I quickly draw back my hand. I think I ended up going at her head for a relatively long period of time without even realizing it. And for some reason, she is currently staring intensely at my hand. So how is it? Did the pit of your stomach get warm again?
はい。風見さんの手からはマイナスイオンのようなものが出ているんでしょうか。不思議です。
In typical Sachi style, the girl asked this question with a perfectly straight face. If so, I don't have to see about selling off the technology to some manufacturer of home appliances. Sounds like exactly the sort of feature the jubilant housewife of the world would love to have in their toasters.
では、私はその技術を買った家電メーカーを買い取ります。
You have that kind of scratch lying around?
持っていませんよ。
Not surprising. Well, anyway, I guess this should do it for my penalty.
はい、風見さん、グッジョブです。
Sachi offers me an enthusiastic thumbs up.
それで、もしよければなのですが、これからも私のことを褒めていただけると嬉しいです。
I suppose. I wasn't really planning to cut off your compliment in the first place. If you act in a way worth your recognition again, I guess I'll probably praise you again.
ありがとうございます。
I thought my response kind of brusque, if anything, but Sachi blushes the same shade of pink as before and offers me a bow of thanks. That said, if we happen to duel again, I fully intend to win.
では、私も今から山ごもりの修行を始めます。
No, don't go there. That's your prerogative, but don't forget to attend class, alright?
そうでした。私、授業のことをすっかり忘れていました。
The thing about Sachi is, you know this isn't a joke, she genuinely did forgot. In any case, I learned something from the time I spent with this honest girl today. The act of praising someone, the sensation of patting their head. I've been making a habit of rustling Makina's hair around lately, but somehow this felt different. Exactly what that feeling was remains unclear to me, but whatever it was, for some reason, I enjoy it. I guess Makina's games aren't all bad. Somehow those has become my honest thoughts on the matter.
アブラカタブラチュパカブラ
Yes, we enter a new one here. As the second recess period of the day begins, a highly suspicious ritual unfolds before my eyes. Hey Sakaki, our classmate seems to be using her twin tails as antennas in attempting to intercept human brainwaves.
いつものことでしょ
Well, maybe not, but that strikes me as a problem in its own right.
いでよ大魔人サチパパラパお呼びでしょうかみちる様
Sachi-chan. Completely indifferent to our whisper, Michiru finishes chanting her incantation. A powerful Dijin promptly answers the call.
ああそれってランプのせいだっけ
そうよ。ただサチに用事を頼むだけでもバリエーションを出してかないとと思ってね。その必要あるか？あるわよ。昨日だって今のやり取りを成功させるために2時間もリハーサルをやったんだから。
そのほとんどは参考にしようとした某アニメ DVD にみちる様が見入られてしまったからなのですけど。
ああ、そうで、サチ、あんた化粧水とかも常備してたりする？
はい、それなら確か以前あまねさんに化粧を教えてもらった時。
As soon as she understands Michiru's request, Sachi crosses off to her oversized storage locker in the back of the classroom.
お待たせしました。これですよね。
そうそう、ありがとう。ってそうだ、ついでにパフも持ってない？パフパフするやつ。
持っているといえば持っているのですが、みちる様にご満足いただけるかどうかは。
Puff, puff. With those words, Sachi grabs her chest with both hands.
ほうほう、これはつつましくも確かな柔らかさが。
She just touched her own breast.
私が言ってるのはパフパフじゃなくてパフよ。コットンパフ。
そちらの方でしたか。同音異義語は難しいです。
いやいや、あんたがややこしくしてるだけだってば。
Somebody asks Sachi for a favor, leading to a subtle but bizarre misinterpretation. In the end, someone heaves an exasperated sigh. This too is hardly anything out of the ordinary. I have seen something of the sort so many times since coming to this school that it's practically part of the scenery job by now. But when you stop and think about it.
何黄昏てやがる坊主。
I'm not brooding, also I'm not your son. Makina-chan, as always, pretty kawaii.
でも背中が泣いているように見えたのよ。
I suppose you could compare heavy sweat soaking through the back of your shirt to crying. Why not currently purse?
話が脱線しかけてるけど、今さっちゃんのこと目で追ってたわよね。
Ah yes, I have entered Sachi-chan's roof. Well done. I don't mind you butting into the conversation, but do me a favor, keep your tits to yourself.
考え事してる時でもダメか。
If you want to take me by surprise, you're going to need more dramatic measures. I recommend knocking me unconscious, maybe sleeping pills or something sort of.
その手があったか。
Of course, if she actually tried missing some choice into my food, I'm confident I do notice 8 times out of 10.
でもさ、なんでさっちゃんのこと見てたの？
Well, just think about how familiar that routine of hers is by now.
そう言われるとちょっと耳が痛いかな。
Why is that?
なんていうかな、私たちってさっちゃんの真面目さに甘えすぎちゃってるところがあるから、それを傍から見たらひどいことしてるように見えちゃうこともあると思うんだよね。でもユージにも分かっててほしいのは、私たちにそういう意図は全くないってこと。私が遊び相手にサッチンを選ぶのもそうだけど、チルチルだってサッチンとはマブダチなのよさ。
So you're saying that faithful servants routines and special friendship or something?
お兄ちゃんなら見ればわかると思うのだけど、サッチンは全然嫌がったりしていないのよ。
Well, I guess not. Compared to the others, Michiru stands to request many her go first dice errors pretty quickly, but Sachi never shows any sign of irritation. On the contrary, she often overflows with gratitude as if being given works offer her satisfaction in itself. But objectively speaking, her charitability attitude as has to be considered downsides abnormal. Pretty interesting girl in that sense.
ちょっと、まさかユージ、さっちゃんのこと。
Yes. I see where you're going with this, but that's not what I meant.
そっか。
But still, Komine Sachi, eh?
お呼びでしょうか、風見さん。
Impressive job picking up on my mutterings, but no, I did not.
そうですか。
Sorry about that.
いえ、年頃の男性が性的に興味のある異性の名をつぶやいてしまうのはよくあることだと聞いています。
What? Don't lump me together with pure-hearted youths who can find joy in a crumpled old porn mega discovered under the boardwalk.
はい、風見さんがそうおっしゃるならそうします。
Right then. This is strange as well. When I offer a retort to some weird statements of Sachi, she will fully accept my rebook, basically overrated her previous opinion. True, she's often mumbles something like, "Is that so?" First best done. There's nothing more than rhetorical questions or requests for clarification, not an attempt to argue. Roughly speaking, Sachi's response to our orders run along a fixed course from confirmation to consent and finally implementation.
でもサチって前よりちょっと変になったわよね。ああ、やっぱりみちるもそう思う？だってね、前からトンチンカンなところはあったけど、下着姿で投稿してくることなんてなかったし。
So what brought on the change?
はあ？あんた何言ってるのよ。そんなの一つしかないじゃない。
Because of me.
そうね。
The two nods to each other and four narrow eyes focus on my face. Makina and Yumiko.
うん。
Welcome to a certain someone who began to stare contemplatively in my direction without even lifting her chin from her head. I guess it's actually 6. Sorry, but passionate cases aren't going to get what you want to. Try flowers and a box of chocolate.
それがよりにもよってこんなのでしょ。さすがに今の返しは言いたかったかな。
In short, they want to say this is my fault. Then again, I'm the first male student in this course. In that sense, I'm actually has a foreign element added to a relative stable mixture. Since Sachi has been forced to adjust to living in a dorm with me, I guess some changes in her behaviors and attitudes will be a surprise. Well, I won't deny my role in this.
お兄ちゃんにしてはなかなか殊勝な発言なのよ。
Newcomers have to keep their heads down after all.
何を今更。
I feel like I heard a cranky spirit griping about something in the corner of the classroom, but I'm going to say I was just hearing things. Kawaii Yumiko-chan. But precisely because I'm a newcomer, there's a specific aspect of our class representative behavior I'm beginning to wondering about. I have to say though, I've been here a couple months now, but I haven't seen Sachi refuse a request even once.
Oh.
The instant I put my observation towards Amane's eyes opened wide in shock. To rephrase it, since Sachi dictionary doesn't include the word impossible, I didn't mean anything else by it.
あ、ごめん。ユージの言ってることは分かってたんだけど、改めて考えてみると、さっちゃんが頼み事を断ったことってあったかなと思って。
What? You haven't seen it happen either, Amane?
うん、多分そうだと思うけど。ねえ、マキナ、あんたはさっちゃんが何かを断ってるとこ見たことある？
サッチンが断ってるとこ？それは見たことないけど。
No.
じゃあチルチルはサッチンがお願いを断ったとこ見たことある？
え？そんなの普通に考えたらあるに決まって。ない。
Even Michiru, who seems to have provided the largest volume of requests by a significant margin.
じゃあユミコは？あんた最初からこの学園にいたんだから、さすがに1回くらいは見たことあるでしょ？
小峰さんがここに来たのはあなたより後なんだから、期間的な条件は同じでしょ？
ってことは
見たことないわ。
In other words, despite living in close proximity to her for more than a half a year, none of you have ever seen Sachi say no to someone.
ちょっと待って、それが本当だったらすごいことじゃない？
すげえよ、サッチン何者だよ。
Makina says she is actually pretty understandable. Even if by some chances we forgotten an occasion or two when Sachi did say no, this strong a concession must be she's gone along with their request an overwhelming majority of the time. Usually you only expected that kind of self-sacrifice from the Holy Mother reincarnated or a very well-trained soldier.
もしかして私に関するお話をされているのでしょうか？
Well, calling it a discussion might be an overstatement, but
要約すると、 サッチンは誰とでもする便利な女ってことなのよさ。
全然違う。
そんなに力強くされたら耳から脳汁が流れ出ちゃうのよさ。
Oh, Yumiko-chan, kawaii.
ほらほら、ビビリのユミコが怖がるからそういう例え禁止。
うえー。
Okay, moving on. I got one question I want to ask you. Sachi,
何でしょうか。
can you remember refusing any request since you came to this school, even one?
そうですね。
唐突に電源オフ？
すみません。今自分の記憶を検索していたのですが、私の覚えている限りではないと思います。
ってことは本当？今まで一度も。
私たちのお願いを断ったことがないってこと？
Gazillion demands.
今までありがとう、サチ。ほんと。
さすがクラスの委員長さんなのよさ。
Michiru and the others abruptly swarm around Sachi, surprised and enthusiastic to discover such an impressive feat so close at hand. They resemble nothing so much an eccentric surgical team, mobbing a defender for scoring the come from behind goal in the extra time. On the other hand, the hero in question doesn't quite seem to understand why she's getting the star treatment all of a sudden. You can practically see the question marks floating above her head. A bit late in the game, but it seems they finally taken note of your meritorious service, Sachi.
功績ですか？
そうそう、サチって実はできる子だったんだなって。ある意味そこら辺にいるメイドさんよりメイドさんっていうのかな。
そうでしょうか。
だってほら、この前だってジャケットがこんなのって言っただけで私が欲しかった CD 手に入れてくれたし。
あの時はインターネット上でいろんな質問ができるサイトに投稿したら、親切な人が商品名と売っている場所を教えてくれたんです。
ヤフーの知恵袋。私が本物の地域限定コシヒカリってどんな味なんだろうってつぶやいた時も次の日持ってきてくれたわよね。まだ
はい、上越新幹線で片道1時間45分。現地農家の小林さんから直接譲っていただきました。
If it took an hour 45 to get out of there, we're probably talking about the Chuetsu rice growing region. Girls must have been wandering around way out in the sticks.
じゃあゾンビがうじゃうじゃって出てくるゲームの海外限定版はどうやって手に？
それは eDay っていう海外のオークションで未開封の商品を見つけたんだよ。
そんなことまでやっていたなんて。
と言っても私自身が何か特別なことをしてるわけじゃないですし。
Apparently, Sachi's finally caught out on the fact that she's being praised as her cheeks have grown slightly red. She did mention that Amon and Michiru haven't been complimented her as much as they used to, well, so this sudden barrage of appreciation might be fairly enjoyable. Nothing particularly special, huh? So our community is so small scale and relatively isolated from the outside world, but she offers her help to everyone here quite literally without fail. That alone would be pretty remarkable by almost any standard, but Sachi seems to be completely oblivious to this fact. Of course, when you're here never once, I think it's only human nature to feel a little interest in seeking their streak broken. I guess it might go without saying, but the laundry facility in our dormitory operated high class. The machines are state-of-the-art combination washer, dryer, so long as you can handle the pushing a button, the rest is pretty much automatic. My attitude towards housework has always been indifferent at best, but these things still make my life noticeably easy. For example, I currently heading to the third floor, securing the knowledge I can get my laundry more or less taken care of in time it takes my rice to cook.
回る回る地球と一緒にドラムが回る、そいつを見てたら目も回る、いいヤッヒー
Yahi, kawaii. But when I reach the toilet, I find Sachi in front of the machine singing a funky avant-garde tune to her side as the laundry tumbles on the tummy side. If you lost your way in the life, I will leave you an ear for your trouble.
どちらかというと風見さんの言葉の意図を把握するのに困っているのですが。
Alright then, what was with the song just now?
あれは作詞作曲イリス・マキナ、編曲周防天音による心の選択、乙女心は潜在いらずという歌です。
Nani? I see, understood. By that, the only people I can picture coming out with a song like that are drunk office workers like around a train station at 2:30 in the morning. And B, Isuru Makina.
ちなみに今日の洗濯物は下着が2枚とメイド服が2着です。
And you're telling me this why?
老婆心ながら風見さんが知りたそうな顔をされていたので。
Appreciate the thought, but that was your mistake.
すみません。風見さんほどの人なら回転するドラムの中身を視認することも容易でしたよね。
Sachi, my friend, I'm genuinely curious just what kind of skills do you think I have been developing? Okay, let's just change the subject. Since you are up here watching your laundry, I guess you already ate dinner?
はい。あとはお洗濯とお風呂に入って一日もおしまいというところです。
I see a whole rhythm of life you got there. Very much the model student.
ちなみに風見さんはもう食べられたんですか？
No, not yet. Why?
聞くところによると夕食はなるべく21時前にとった方がいいらしいですよ。
Apparently, it's harder to gain weight that way, yes.
すでにご存知だったんですね。さすが風見さんです。
More importantly, Sachi,
はい、なんでしょう。
can I go ahead and smack you at this point?
強引なのは嫌いじゃないのですが、私としてはちゃんと手順を踏んでほしいと言いますか。
Once again, I find myself wondering whether you are even a human
不
being.
思議です。なぜでしょうか。
Take a look at yourself and think about it, specifically what you are wearing.
下着姿です。
Yes, yes, you are. Tell me, are you the type who finds sexual excitement in exposing yourself in front of other people?
いえ、違います。
Then why did you take off your clothes?
それはこれからお風呂に入ろうと思ったからです。
I see. This room's right next to the grand bath, so you're trying to make efficient use of the time spent waiting for your laundry?
ご明察です。
Let's say efficiency isn't really enough of a reason to justify this personal strip of street show, but should I even bother trying to explain that to her?
風見さんも入りますか？
In what? You're flashing a tourist club?
いえ、そちらではなくお風呂の方のお話です。
Well, I believe I just received an ambiguous invitation to take a bath with a classmate of the opposite gender. But as I understand, for men and women beyond the age of puberty, such an act requires either financial transaction or a certain degree to pre-exist intimacy. Sachi and I are merely classmates. We are not in a relationship and we are not blood related in this. I want to think it's natural for me to feel a little dubious here.
風見さんさえ良ければなので。
Let's see. I don't find the idea particularly objectionable, but I will pass this time.
そうですか。
For one thing, I'm currently in the middle of making dinner.
すごいです。風見さんはすでに時間の有効活用を考えていたんですね。
Well, yeah, more or less. For another day, I have a feeling it will be difficult to make up an excuse if one of the others walk in on us.
では、それはまた別の機会にということで。
Yeah, sounds about right. Enjoy the bath.
はい。風見さんも私の入浴姿を置かずにご飯を食べる作業を頑張ってください。
Maybe a smack up inside the head would be best after all. Looks like it's about time. After quickly double checking the clock on the wall, I leave my room. Oops. Ah shit, I pressed too fast. When I reach the third floor, I find the laundry room empty. Of course, since there's only 6 boilers in these dormitories, that's hardly unusual except, but... What? As I bend forward to retrieve my dry pants, I notice something slightly odd about this feature. Sachi left her laundry in the machine. This machine takes approximately 70 minutes to wash and dry a lot of clothing. As Sachi heads out to the bathroom, the display on her machine is due somewhere 50 minutes. In other words, it's been sitting here readily for nearly an hour. My master walks around me. Young women love their long ass baths, but 70 minutes is a little much. And it's hard to believe Sachi will have returned without taking her laundry, especially since we were just talk about efficiency. Worth all us, I don't think I ever seen her leave a job so sloppy unfinished before. Something feels wrong about this. Even if Sachi really is just taking along, so it shouldn't be a problem if I call out to her through the door. When I make my way to a changing room, Sachi's slippers quickly catch my eyes. Nani? Hard to picture her wandering off barefoot for no good reason, which would mean. Sachi, it's me. Are you in there? I tried to call her from the door, but there's no response. I can't make out the sound of what I wanted either, so it doesn't feel like she's in the middle of the shower. In that case, I think immediate actions called for. Sachi, if you're here, respond. This time I shout Sachi louder, but there's still nothing that sounds like a reply. What's that? But when I gave the room a careful survey, I noticed a small head poking out of the water next to the far window.
2400
And she's mumbled quietly to herself, counting something. Puzzled, I approached Sachi along the edge of the bar. A few meters away, I finally noticed that her eyes are open. Sachi! The instant I understand that Sachi is muttering deliriously, I reached into the warm water and pulled her out of the bath. Her expression blanks and vacant. Sachi continues to mumble a string of numbers. From the symptoms, it seems fairly clear that she is faded from overload and long exposure into the sauna-like temperature. I think emergency rest and recovery pills in order. With that decided, I helped Sachi take her body out of the bathroom and then carefully carry her down the stairs to the second floor. Excuse me, coming in. In consideration to the room's owner, I gave approximately half a second to advance notice. Before bargaining, not even for permission, I set Sachi down on the bed.
ユージ？女連れ？しかも裸？
Sorry, but there's no time to argue right now. Could you get me a bag of ice and a wash bowl sooner rather or later?
氷の音洗面器って。わかった。
Quickly grasping the nature of the situation, I runs out to the bathroom without any further questions. Seems to me Sachi doing so particularly was the right call. Sachan! Kawaii Sachan! Damn son! About 50 minutes after I brought her to Amani's room, Sachi did settle down into soft, regular rinse of sleep.
状況はなんとなく理解したけど、一応何があったか説明してくれる？
Long story short, Sachi fell in the grand bath and I found her there.
それで私の部屋に連れてきたと。
Yes. I figure you'll be the most reliable by far in this sort of situation.
そういうことしれっと言われちゃうと怒れなくなっちゃうんだよね。
サチ！シモナ！戻ってこーい！
Don't go to the light.
マキナ、病人がいるんだから静かに。
Yes. Apparently, Makina can realize that it's not an appropriate time for the usual song and dance she assessed. Amani warned and quietly plopped herself down on Sachi's bedside.
で、サッチンが侵されているスキルスはステージいくつ？
What are you talking about? She doesn't have cancer. She just got lightheaded from the stay in the bath too long.
それなら一安心なのよ。
でも今までこんなことなかったのにどうして急に？
She seems to be counting something in there. I expect someone put a strange idea in her head. Probably Michiro or...
もしかしてマキナ、さっちゃんに何か言った？でも今ギクって自分で言ってたわよね。
実は今日のお昼休みに私たちはお風呂に入っても1万数えられる女になろうねって話をしたばかりで。
As the circumstances counselor, I went ahead with a heavy sigh. It's pretty clear that Sachi took Makina a hyperbole 100% literal interfere as a mandatory new part of her bathing routine.
てか、どうしてそんな話になったのさ。
昨日のテレビで今の子供はお風呂の中で100も数えられないご来症のない子供が増えていますって言ってたから。
100!
大きくなって社会に出た時、これだからゆとり世代はって 上司が灰皿にタバコを押し付けるところは見たくなかったのよさ。
その心意気は悪くないけど、さっちゃんの性格は知ってるでしょ。
ごめんなさいなのよ。
Since she actually offered a halfway sincere sounding apology for once, Makina seems to be feeling something surprisingly close to genuine remorse, a rare sight indeed. Sachan. At some point during this exchange, Sachi opened her eyes ever so slightly.
2414
You can stop counting. Stop counting. In the next instant, she picks up the counts exactly where she left out, like some sort of human time bomb.
ほらマキナ、今のうちにリセット。
聞くのよサッチ。お風呂に入るときは必ず1万数えなくてもいいのよさ。
そうなの。
っていうか、お風呂くらい自分の好きなタイミングで出入りしていいんだからね。
わかりました。
As soon as the words are out of her mouth, Sachi's eyes fall shut and her body goes totally limp.
これでひとまずは大丈夫そうね。
So you think that's going to be enough to keep this from happening again?
絶対とは言い切れないけど、私たちは今までこうやって乗り切ってきたから。
In that case, could you have done something about the way she addresses Michiru?
あれだけは特別。どんなにミチルが取り消しって言っても、さっちゃんはガンとして譲ろうとしないし。
あれはチルチルが悪いのよ。自分で未来永劫とか絶対って念を押しちゃったから。
I see, so she made an over-aggressive attempt at impressing Sachi with a character right off the bat and it backfired spectacularly.
マミー鳥がマミーになったのよさ。
まあ真面目なのはさっちゃんのいいところだけど、もう少し融通が効いてくれるとありがたいかな。
サッチンはこれでいいのよ。真面目でドジっ子ってところが可愛いんだから。
Huh. Somehow a diligent personality doesn't feel quite sufficient as an explanation for all of this.
それじゃあマキナ、私たちは今のうちに新しい氷を作っておこっか。
了解なのよさ。
Energy as always, Makina patters off to the kitchen ahead of Amane.
ちなみに一度沸騰させたお湯をそのまま使った方が早く氷になることもあるらしいのよ。
ああ、それって無ペンバなんとかって言うんでしょ確か。
Where the Sachis? What's wrong? I turned back to the bed to find the maid in question had regained consciousness.
目の前に風見さんがいます。
Yeah, I'm Kazami Yuji, but more importantly, are you Komine Sachi?
はい、私は小峰幸です。
Watashi wa. Seems that she recovered enough of her wits to offer coherent responses.
それで私はどうしてここに。
You lost consciousness in the grand bath. I found you there and brought you to Amane's room for treatment.
そうだったんですか。ご迷惑をおかけしてしまってすみませんでした。
Well, it wasn't much of an inconvenience, really. Wouldn't even qualify his trouble in my book.
そうですか。
My intents at downplaying in this scene seems to have been appropriate as Sachi smiles and in evident relief.
私また風見さんの前で気を失ってしまったんですね。
Yeah, so it seems. I answered Sachi's statement with an artificial attempt at a reassuring smile. Since I'm talking to a dazzled invalid, I decided to play along, but I don't remember this ever happened before. I'm not sure where the again is coming from. She must be still pretty out, I guess.
目が覚めたサッチン。
マキちゃんにも迷惑をかけたみたいでごめんね。
悪いのは変なことを言った私なのよ。だからサッチンは何も悪くないのよさ。
Sachi's expression grows thoughtful. She seems to be thinking back on the incident and telling to analyze her behavior. Don't try to think too hard right now. Makina has admitted she's to blame here, so let's leave it at that.
はい、わかりました。
それで具合はどうなのよ。
ちょっと頭がぼーっとするくらいだから大丈夫。
じゃあ早く元気になって私のお尻をペンペンしてくれるのを待ってるのよ。
わかった。
Sachi answered Makina's with a gentle smile, but by the end of the conversation, I can see fine beads of sweat running down her face. Okay, that's enough talk for now. Take it easy for a while.
はい。
With a short response, Sachi closed her eyes to sleep once more. Alright guys, we are going to end the episode here right now. Thank you for watching my video. My video is just for
セー
fun.
ブするわ。
It's a good scene, right? Okay, magic word time. Adios and famosa. The girl who can't say no.